Mick, we've been trying to get the TVN cameras up here for thoroughbreds for some time to get some fresh vision of these gorgeous stallions, and they look fantastic today. A windy day, but they were pretty on their toes.
Yeah, but they were pretty well behaved, I guess. There was a lot of breeze about, but like you say, they look terrific. It's an important time of the year for us. We get a lot of visitors to come through and have a look at them, and Dane Shadow, he looks enormous. He probably looks the best he's ever looked, especially at this time of the year. He's one of those horses that needs a bit of work to build up, but yeah, he looks great. Really happy with them both. Oh,
he looked absolutely amazing. Dane Shadow we'll start with in particular. But, you know, he's been a horse that's always punched above his weight. We know that for so long with the sorts of winners, Hurdle, Myrtle, the Maya Classic, Shadows in the Sun, the SA Derby, Red Tracer and so forth. But he's just a ball of muscle, isn't he? And his coat is just glowing.
Yeah, he is. He is. And he's done, like you say, he's done an amazing job with a real lack of quality and numbers. And we've been saying it forever, and probably people are sick of us batting on about it. And that's over now. He's got that great quality and great mares behind him now with the big book this year for his 2-year-olds. So yeah, look, it's an exciting time for him going forward. Like I was saying to you before, he's got, for the first time ever, he's got 124 2-year-olds on the ground, and every good trainer in the country's got them. They've sold enormous. So yeah, like going forward, we're expecting some pretty big things for him. Yeah,
he's a striking type of a horse. I mean, we know obviously the Dane Hill out of Slight Chance, and what a wonderful race mare she's been, and a good brood mare as well. But so full of beans too, and really great to see these horses looking so full of life just ahead of the season.
Very much so, and they've got to be. You know, it's a busy time for them going forward. It's a busy year for Dane Shadow. Yeah, like he's. And with like looking at Dane Shadow, it's amazing what he throws. He throws himself in that really athletic type. Lovely bone, and as we've seen this year, his yearlings have sold enormous. From the Premier sales, I think he averaged 109,000, so off a $16,000 service fee, that's just terrific.
Yeah.
A really strong result, and sold up to 560,000. So yeah, look, he throws that lovely athletic look about himself. He's not a real proper Danehill to look at. There's a lot of centane through him, through Slight Chance, but again, like his sprinters, his Group 1 winners have been 1,200 to 2,000 metres plus, so he's doing a great job across the board.
Yeah, of course, he has the 2-year-old numbers too. I mean, as I said, he was sort of an underrated stallion, and he's really kicked the goals. But the 2-year-old numbers on the ground as well, and the way they sold as yearlings is a great big bonus for the horse.
Yeah, well, it just shows that though he was supported so strongly. The trainers really got behind him. You know, they're easy horses to train. All the trainers that have them, they eat and sleep. They're that type of horse. So no, he's doing an amazing job. Like just on his numbers, Dane Shadow's sale yearlings for 2012, now 2-year-olds in numbers, equalled his entire career to date over 4 years. So just in 1 year in numbers, it just shows and what a great job he's done just with over those 4 years with that low number. Now he's got that in 1 year, so we're so excited about where he's going to head in the next couple of years, and we urge everybody, we're not just looking for someone to send a mare to him. That's an easy job. We want people to really look at him and send one of their top mares, because he warrants it in the sale ring, and he warrants it on the track.
For sure he does, and the stats as well. I mean, the Group 1 winner per 57 runners, that you've come up with the statistic, and it compares amazingly with some of the other top stallions going around.
Yeah, that's right. You know, when you look at horses like even Testarossa, who's been a great stallion, who has equal a number of Group 1 winners, but he takes 207 runners to get a Group 1 winner. Exceed and Excel takes 200 odd runners. Choisir 290. When Dane Shadow, you look at Dane Shadow, takes 57 runners to get a Group 1 winner, and knowing that the numbers he has behind him now, you know, hypothetically speaking, you could nearly say in 3 years' time he could have 8 Group 1 winners, and that'd see him testing for the top of the ladder. So, look, we're extremely excited about him, and he's a horse that everyone should keep strongly on their radar, because we know a lot more about him, obviously, standing him, but we see him as an extremely exciting horse going forward.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, the mares this year, you've got some great clients, of course, shareholders in the horse, and obviously, you know, you're getting some good mares to him again this year.
Oh, very much so. There's a lot of good breeders. Like, we've got some obviously great clients on the farm, and they've like some of our major clients are shareholders in the horse and have supported him strongly, especially in the last year or two when he stood up and put his hand up for those better mares, you know. And it's like anything when you stand a horse that wasn't a Group 1 horse. He sort of raced in an era where it was hard to be that top horse with Fastnet Rock, Charge Forward, and Alingis, and you know, even when he hit a 3-year-old to become a 3-year-old, there was Grand Armies in his way. He just was a horse that just couldn't quite get there, but which that just makes it a little bit harder for him to demand those top quality mares. But he's definitely got his hand up now, and the breeders have shown their faith.
Duporth, well, he's an exciting young stallion, isn't he? Staging, what an amazing job she's done with the two other stallions that are standing at start, and also Delago Deluxe that, you know, is a close relation as well in South Africa. But he's a real stallion, isn't he? And when he comes out, he really knows he's actually really a bull. I was going to say a boy, but he's all bull.
No, he is. He definitely is that. He's a lovely horse too. He's just got a great nature to him, and his foals, they represent him well too. Like he stamps them, which has got to be a good thing when you have a look at him here today. It's like all things, you stand a stand like Duporth, like with the terrific pedigree that he has. And the one thing about Duporth, he probably didn't get his chance to show himself as a 2-year-old on the track, but in saying that, he raced in the Pago and the Sires on heavy tracks, and he made up great ground and showed that he probably could have been earlier than he was. It just didn't suit him at the time. But as far as him being a sire of 2-year-olds, you would have to think he's going to go close. Like his mum's staging, she won 4 races as a 2-year-old, 400,000 in prize money, and was Group 1 placed. His dam sire, Success Express, was a super 2-year-old, won the Breeders' Cup and left a Golden Slipper winner. His sire, Red Ransom, you know, prolific sire of 2-year-olds whose sons are now following in his footsteps. His brother, Excites, was a Group 1 winning 2-year-old. His other brother, Tickets, was a Group 2 winning 2-year-old and Group 1 placed. His sister, who sort of didn't get the stakes money, but she pops up and produces the champion 2-year-old in South Africa. So, you know, I dare say that, and looking at his progeny and him, that maybe he didn't highlight as a 2-year-old, but you were definitely looking at his stock to think that they're going to go early. And it's always these third-year season stay-ins to use are always a bit nerve-wracking, but if you get it right, you're a genius. So, and if you don't, you're a fool. But we rate him pretty highly.
Yeah, and he does fire up a bit, but he's settled down very quickly, and he's got amazing strength and power about him, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. It's a big show. He wanted to let everyone know how he was when he first walks out, but he's quick to, he's got a great temperament. He just settles very quickly, and his stock so far have showed that. You know, we've obviously handled a lot of his weanlings, and they've all been through now that are yearlings, and again, they've just got a great nature to them, and they've sold really well too, Carl. And it's just at the sales, he sold to 105,000. He's only had a few go through, but they've sold enormous, a couple of $90,000 yearlings, and so the pinhookers and the right people have got behind him early in the piece, so you would imagine that that'll be the case come sale time.
And of course some of the foals we filmed here on the ground, new foals, this gorgeous little Duporth out of Sonnet.
Yeah, a little bit of attitude there, and she's a lovely mare for Duporth as well. Like, she's out of a 3/4 sister, a new approach, so it's a great strong pedigree. So that's the type of mares that Duporth's been supported with. So yeah, he's getting good support.
Another foal we filmed, Dane Shadow, Dorothy, Dinosaur, this colt, full brother to Phil the Page, and hasn't that been a great story? Of course, Phil the Page, as I said, full brother, so by Dane Shadow too. Just born this morning, and Dane Shadow's really upgraded that family.
He has. Well, actually, when they bought the Inglis guys, all the guys from Inglis bought Phil the Page, and they called it Phil the Page, obviously, because the pedigree page itself was pulled up halfway down the page a bit short, so there was a bit of white paper left. I think they're going to call the next horse Room for Notes. So, again, it just shows the sort of thing that Dane Shadow can do, you know, and he can really pick a mare up that lacks that pedigree and push them forward. But yeah, he's a lovely colt, big, strong, lovely bone, and obviously only a few hours old, but they're not really nice horse. Yeah,
already out there trotting away with his mum, and the other one we looked at too, not by one of those two stallions, but by Reduced Choice. This filly out of these mares, you've got some lovely mares on the farm. Of course, Neil Werrett and people like that involved in the ownership. Music Review, who was trained by John O'Shea, but a lovely mare, and the foal is a spitting image of mum.
Yeah, she's been a great mare, Music Review. Myself and Royston Murphy and Seamus Mills were over in the UK, and we purchased that filly for Neil, and yeah, like I think I'm not exactly sure what the prize money she won. She won 3 or 4 races over here and was group placed for Neil, and we bred her a Reduced Choice, and she's had this lovely filly, and I've never seen a maiden take to the job so well. You know, she's just, from the minute she foaled, she just knew what the story was, and again, like you say, she's a lovely filly, and will be a great filly for Neil and Max Whitby, who owns half as well of this foal, to take forward and race. So it's great.
And of course, you've now bought equity in Kitchwin Hills. Tell me about the reasoning behind that.
Yeah, I've been here. I think most people were surprised I wasn't already owning equity. It's a big result for me. I'm really excited that the Browns have given me this opportunity. I guess it was going to happen at some point. My nickname's Kitchwin Mick, so. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I think it's like, I guess it's deserved. I've been a long time a citizen of Kitchwin, and we've sort of taken the farm from a small little farm that no one really knew the name of, Kitchwin Hills. It was usually, you thought they were from Kitchwin World or something like that. But we've really gone forward, and it's exciting times going forward.
Mick Malone at Kitchwin Hills there, and Dane Shadow, well, of course, they've kept his fee at the same price this year, but looking to hopefully bump it up next year on the back of some better mares, and Duporth from that great family looking good too.
Well, this is the thing. He's got a really good current batch of 2-year-olds because they were conceived after he started to do extremely well, and I would say you would be hoping for good results from them, and then the